In this session, we're going to check how to work our way, how to use the parts of C++ test to do unit testing of a Keil project. So we're going to use this project that we have here from the project solution file ubproj. We can recognize that it is from a Keil project. The first order of things from here is to generate a baud file from this project. And the only way to do that I know of is to use the Keil IDE. So let me launch the Keil IDE now and point it to that Keil project file. So we have loaded the Keil project file, and make sure that what is selected here would be the C++ test simulator, as there are 4 of them. So select the C++ test simulator. Then make sure that the generate batch file checkbox is checked. So do verify that by going to this one here in options for target, C++ simulator, go to the output tab, and then just make sure that this checkbox here is checked. And lastly, make sure that the value of the stack size and the heap size are at least of this size here. Otherwise, make the necessary adjustment. After doing all of these checks, select the project and then build target. This will generate a batch file, which is the most important file that we're going to use. Now let us close the IDE, and if we go over and check at this project here, and we can see that we have now this baud file here. Okay, I will launch now a console. Let me try to do this in the command line. And then let me switch over to drive F, demo, sensor. So I will try to create an Eclipse workspace for this project. Okay. Well, let me use the IDE for now. Let me launch the parse of C++ test IDE, and well, I wanted my workspace to be here, WP, in drive F. And then I'm going to import the Keil project using this import Keil uvision project. And in the project target settings, select C++ test simulator. Click finished. So we just loaded the project here. Let me try to accept the IDE. Let me try to check if there's a way to work here using the command line. Okay, there's no BDF. Let me try to check if I can generate a test case here. cpptestcli data is in drive FWP. The config would be built in, and then generate unit test. Let's try this. Interesting. Seems to be working fine so far. Huh? Interesting. Let me run the unit test now. Okay. So I'm not sure if that is a success or not. Let us do some follow-up check. Okay, there's no executable. How about okay, I'm not seeing any test case artifact generated. Okay, so let me try to do some check. So let me remove the test for auto-generated test cases, and I'm just interested in one file. So this time I'm going to generate for one file only, sensor, and that file would be, let me check, that file would be sensor.c. Okay. Let's see if this works. So it's auto-generating one file, right? So let me see if okay. So let me see if it can execute this one here this time. Nope, didn't. Let me delete again. And this time let me use the IDE. So let me launch again the PowerSoft IDE and let us do this again in the IDE. So let me generate test cases for sensor.c. Okay, test cases have been generated. And then let me run these test cases. Well, I just remember now that to run it here is a little bit different. You're going to use embedded systems and then Keil uvision, and this is definitely not what we did over the command line. Anyway, let's do that now. Execute. You can see here it lands the Keil IDE very quickly. And we have code coverage. We go back here, we can see that artifacts have been generated, the clog and the log file. And we can also see executable here. Well, it's not here, so it seems that this is not a standard Windows executable. As you saw, it launched the Keil IDE to do the execution, and it's also using simulator. So let's check the logs and see if we can simulate this in the command line. So it uses to run the execution. Let me list a number of configs here. Let me see if I have Keil. Indeed, I have a Keil. Interesting. Let me close the IDE. And instead of run unit test, this time I'm going to use this instead. Because a while ago we just used run unit test, but what we are really interested in instead is this one here. Okay, let me do that over here. Okay, instead of run unit test, we'll ask it to run a specific unit test for Keil. Let's see if this works. It should pop. Okay, and it works. And we should see generated test cases here. So just to make sure everything is fine, I will delete everything here. I will redo everything first by, okay, let's redo everything. So first I will clean the project, get And now we have a clean project, and then I'm going to use a new workspace. This time I'm going to use WP2. So let us again launch the Keil IDE, because we're going to always need to have the need for the batch file. Build target. Okay. And now we have the batch file here. Okay. So then, after the batch file, we're going to ask it to generate unit test. So I'm going to check over my history here and generate unit tests for this one. File here, and I'm going to specify to use this. Will this work? Yep. So still there's a need to launch the Eclipse IDE to generate WP2, our workspace. So if there's a command line way to do it later on, I will update this recording. Import Keil project. Okay, close this. Now that the WP2 Eclipse workspace is set up, so I'm gonna generate unit test now. You can see here that it was set up by the launch of the Parsoft IDE. Done. And I'm gonna run unit test. Finally. And it should pop up the Keil IDE here very quickly. And it's there. And if we go over here, we can see that this should generate the T-log and the C-log output artifacts. Well, we would need to open this with the IDE to view the coverage report. So let me do that now. And this should be the okay, here it is. So for that one file, sensor.c, this will be the coverage result. So the reason that I'm only using sensor.c because the rest of the file is going to need some minor tweaks to generate unit tests. This is it for now, and I know that it's not completely command line. As you saw back and forth, I was using the Keil IDE and I was using the Parsoft IDE, and then I used the command line to generate the unit test, and I used the command line to run the unit test, but there were parts in this step that still use the IDE. So, well, I'm going to improve this video later on when I find a pure command line way of doing this, but I don't think it's gonna be too practical because first, there's always going to be a need for tweaks, like the C code is going to be tweaked to adjust to hardware interfaces, right, during actual Keil development. And in that phase of the setup, always there's going to be tweak in the source code to adjust the C file. However, once that is set up and the Eclipse workspace is properly ready, then that is going to be the time where the execution of the unit test is going to be automated in the command line. But the setting up of the workspace, I believe, is still going to be requiring the IDE, as there are tweaks to be done in a Keil project, especially that this is a freestanding project without support of an operating system.